What does year-round schooling look like? It looks like living life away from a traditional schooling schedule. Always go to HSLDA to see what the laws and regulations in your state are, because some states have attendance records and most of them are like 180 days or a certain amount of hours. But if you school all year long, I'm pretty sure you'll accomplish that. There's a million different ways to structure your homeschooling. One year I did all history in one day, all science in one day, and the rest of the days were just reading and math and then whatever they wanted to do. A couple of years we were much more devoted to a specific curriculum that we did day in and day out, which is exhausting. That's not something that's ever going to work for my family. That was very early on in the homeschooling journey. And now, like I shared in this video, I do what I showed. It's 2 chapters in a book a day, history, science, math lesson, and then just to watch your screen time and read something that's going to grow you. And they have liberty to be able to implement that however they want to. They want to do it in the morning. They want to do it in the night. They want to do it midday. They want to break it up into morning and night. It's whatever. That's just what your schedule is that you have to accomplish by the end of the day. And you can substitute things, like if you want to, instead of reading a chapter in history, if you want to read a biography. Instead of reading a science lesson, you go and watch a couple of things on Crash Course. I give them that freedom because we school all year long. There's no breaks. We take breaks when we go on vacation or when I'm off of work. The reason that I like doing it this way is because it builds the muscle memory that you should grow a little bit each day. Rather than school and home being 2 separate things, instead, learning is just part of home. It's not school per se as much as it is the portion of your day where you're learning. Now, if you live in a climate like mine, where the only time you can be outside is like 7:30 in the evening because that's the only time that it's cool enough to actually swim, then you're going to do more schooling during the summer and less schooling during the winter. And if you live in some place where it's going to snow and the only time it's nice is during the summer, obviously you can go on that schedule. The luxury of year-round homeschooling is that you can accommodate your outside and break plans based on the weather. Since I'm in Florida, we do our annual reports once a year in the fall. We sit down with a teacher, we talk about what we learned over the last year, we talk about what we're doing the next year, and they sign off on it. It doesn't matter what months or what timeline we did it in, we did it throughout the entire year. The key is to not overthink it. Again, we are not doing school at home. Even if the requirements of your state are telling you this is what you have to accomplish, you do not have to model it after the school system. You remember how great it was in school when they would wheel in the TV and you'd be able to watch a movie that day? Even if it was something like a history movie, do the same thing. That's still learning. You can do that for your kids, especially because we have like History Channel on demand, Discovery on demand. There's podcasts, there's YouTube videos. All of that is still learning. All of that is still education. What you need to make sure is that you're setting up a learning-rich environment so that every day they're just in the habit of learning. I have a deal with a couple of my kids that every other book they read is one that I give them, but the next book is going to be one that they can pick. Other ones absolutely hate reading, so they listen to audiobooks. However, that's still reading. They're just getting the information differently. So as you implement those things into your life, it just becomes organic and natural to just follow a year-round schooling schedule, because it's just a year-round life. When we step out of the system, we don't have to follow the system. So don't overthink it. Just figure out what works best for your family.